What does a real marriage look like when the cameras are rolling and the world is watching? For Amy Duggar King, it looks a lot less like a fairy tale and a lot more like honest work. Back in 2017, the former 19 Kids and Counting star opened up about life with her husband Dylan King and delivered a line that still sticks with fans: "Our love isn't perfect, but it's real." That simple admission pulled back the curtain on a relationship that has never pretended to be picture perfect. Today we're diving into exactly what Amy shared, why it mattered then, and how that same honesty continues to define their story years later. Stick around, because the details she revealed about their first year of marriage, the struggles they faced, and the choices they made go far beyond the highlight reel. Amy Duggar first became a familiar face as the energetic cousin on TLC's long-running series about the Duggar family. While her uncle Jim Bob and Aunt Michelle raised 19 children under the spotlight, Amy carved out her own space as the relative who seemed a little more free-spirited. Viewers watched her grow up on camera, and many followed her personal life just as closely. She and Dylan King married in September 2015 after years of friendship that eventually turned romantic. Their wedding was joyful, but the real test came once the honeymoon phase ended. By the time they marked their first anniversary, the couple had already appeared on Marriage Boot Camp, Reality Stars, and were preparing a TLC special called Amy and Dylan, Married 1 Year. That special, and the interviews surrounding it, gave Amy the chance to speak candidly about what married life actually felt like behind closed doors. In a conversation with Us Weekly at the time, Amy did not sugarcoat anything. She explained that the pair had no interest in presenting a polished version of themselves. "Our love isn't perfect, but it's real," she said. "We don't try to be anything we are not. We hope to make people laugh and get a sense for who we are as a couple." That statement set the tone for everything that followed. The special captured everyday moments, celebrating Amy's 30th birthday, renovating their home, and taking an adventurous anniversary trip to Mexico where they went ziplining, explored cenotes, and cooked their own meals in a rented house in Tulum. Amy described the trip as a deliberate choice to live fully rather than simply mark a date on the calendar. Yet the first year also brought real challenges. Amy's parents divorced during that period, and the emotional weight of that change hit hard. She and Dylan had been friends for so long that shifting into the role of life partners required intentional effort. Communication became a daily focus. Amy admitted she sometimes struggled to express her feelings without walking away from a conversation. Dylan worked on the tone of his voice during disagreements. Both acknowledged that those issues had not magically disappeared after Marriage Boot Camp. "I'm not gonna lie, it's still something we are continuing to work on," Amy said at the time. She added that she might never know Dylan completely, but she was committed to spending the rest of her life trying. The special also showed the couple talking openly about starting a family. They made it clear they were not aiming for the double-digit numbers associated with the larger Duggar clan. Dylan said they were comfortable with 2 or 3 children. Amy emphasized that they wanted their relationship to be as healthy as possible before bringing kids into the picture. That conversation proved important. A few years later they welcomed their son, Daxton, and the same commitment to honesty that defined their early interviews has continued to shape how they navigate parenthood and public life. What makes Amy's 2017 comments stand out is how rare that level of transparency still feels in celebrity culture. Reality television often rewards performance over authenticity. Amy and Dylan chose the opposite approach. They let cameras capture the messy, ordinary work of building a marriage instead of staging perfect moments. That decision invited both praise and scrutiny, but it also gave viewers a more grounded picture of what lasting love can look like when it is not filtered for television. Public reaction at the time reflected the range of opinions fans have always held about the Duggar orbit. Some viewers appreciated the honesty and saw the special as a refreshing break from the more controlled image often associated with the family brand. Others, remained skeptical of any continued media presence after the scandals that had already rocked the larger family. Media coverage largely stuck to the facts of the interview and the special itself, noting Amy's willingness to discuss both the fun and the hard parts of married life. On social media, supporters highlighted the couple's willingness to seek help through marriage boot camp and to keep working on communication. Critics questioned whether the appearance was more about staying relevant than genuine growth. Both perspectives existed side by side, and Amy's own words never claimed perfection, only reality. Looking ahead, the most reliable indicator of what comes next for Amy and Dylan remains the pattern they have already established. They have continued to prioritize their private life while occasionally sharing updates when they choose. Amy's 2025 memoir Holy Disruptor offered another layer of reflection on her past, her family, and the life she has built with Dylan and their son. Health challenges Dylan faced in 2025, including a rare diaphragmatic condition and a celiac diagnosis, brought another test of the partnership Amy described years earlier. Their public comments around that time returned to the same themes of faith, teamwork, and ordinary daily support. No major new announcements about their marriage have been framed as dramatic turning points, which itself seems consistent with the low-drama approach Amy outlined in 2017. The biggest takeaway from Amy's reflections is straightforward. Perfect marriages make for good television, but real ones require daily effort, honest conversations, and a willingness to keep showing up even when things are imperfect. Amy Duggar King and Dylan King have spent more than a decade living that truth in public and in private. Their story is not a cautionary tale or a fairy tale ending. It is simply the ongoing work of two people who decided early on that authenticity mattered more than appearances. That choice continues to define how they move through life together. What are your thoughts on this latest Duggar family update? Share your opinion in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another Duggar family update.